Now, you may recall in the past, I have explained to you that I am the world's most leadingest, foremostest expert on the Fast and Furious. Yes, well, if you also recall, I spent many, many moons building up this beautiful, beautiful 1/8 scale Dodge Charger, that owned by Dom Toretto in the movies, the Fast and Furious type franchise. Now, I've got a very special announcement, very, very special. I've got some good news. It's wonderful news. She's had a baby. Hello everyone, Fox here. I'm back again with my jaunty Dutch angle workbench shot because my friends at Fanhome, they've been at it again. They've sent me more partwork stuff. Yes, we're doing a brand new partwork. Another one. But we're sticking with the Fast and Furious because, as I said before, I am, of course, the world expert on the Fast and Furious. If there are facts to be known about the Fast and Furious, I will know all those facts about the Fast and Furious because the Fast and Furious franchise of movies and other materials is one of those franchises that I know everything about. Because when it comes to the Fast and Furious, I don't know anything. I've still not watched the movies. I still haven't watched it. I must get round to it at some point. I've got to get round to it at some point because there's just, every time I look at it, there's more. They never end. They never end. It's like the never-ending story without furry dragons. Anyway, yes, my buddies at Fanhome have been at it again. They've set me up with a new partwork, and we're going to be cracking on with it. But unlike all my other partworks, these are going to be really short videos, and they're going to have no building because this isn't a build. This is a collection. Yeah, do you like the little reveal there? Very, very swish, wasn't it? This is the Fast and Furious 143rd car collection. Over the coming months, we'll build up a great big collection of, first of all, magazines full of information about the movies, all the lore about the cars and the characters, and probably technical stuff in the background as well. But we'll also build up this great collection of millions, I mean millions, there's literally about 300 million cars in the franchise that you've seen. Millions of cars that will build up this collection of. In this video, we're just going to do the first 3 issues because I've got them here, and we'll just go through and quickly show you. But in each pack, if you've not seen a partwork before and you don't know who Fanhome are, here's a quick video. So there you go. Now you know who Fanhome are if you've never heard of them before. Now, unlike most partworks where you get magazines and bits to build up a big model, with this collection you get the magazines and these beautiful 143rd cars of the cars from the franchise. And we'll go through those in a minute. I've got the first 3 issues here to look through because they all kind of turned up at the same time. But before we do, let's have a look at the blurb that comes with the first pack. It says, collect the most extraordinary cars in this legendary franchise. Yes, enter the enthralling world of Fast and Furious and join the great family. I may not have seen the movies, but even I know the kind of whole theme of the thing is family. I mean, the whole theme is cars, obviously, and racing and stuff, but it's all about family. Family! And you'll build up this wonderful collection. This isn't the whole collection. This is just the first 10 cars, or this is 10 of the cars. And it ranges from everything from modern to muscle cars. I love the fact there's a Ford Escort Mark 1 RS 1600 in there. That's great. I mean, I've not seen the movies, but I'm amused by that. I used to have a Mark 1 Escort. Many, many years ago, the first car I ever had was a Mark 1 Escort. It wasn't an RS 1600. And I was actually too young to drive. My dad bought it from a neighbour for like 50 quid. And I was 17 and almost old enough to learn to drive. And he said, "There you go. You've got a car now. When you can start driving, you've got a car." And it was a shed. It was a shed. It was a death trap. Luckily, we actually sold it on before I ever got to car driving age. Some bloke came to the door and said, "Hello, can I buy that car that's up your drive? And I'll give you cash." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So he gave me 100 quid for a 50 quid car. And then it disappeared. And I found out apparently later it was used in a ram raid. So there you go. So my first ever car was a Mark 1 Escort. I never drove it though. I'm sure I would have died because it was just not. It was bright, the brightest yellow you can imagine. I mean, it was just ridiculously bright yellow. Anyway, moving on. So you get the wonderful cars. Collector miniatures faithful to the models in the series, die-cast metal and ABS plastic models, hand-painted. They won't be all completely hand-painted. A lot of them have markings and things like that, which I probably suspect a screen print on there. But yeah, there may be some hand-painting in there of all the details. And you get the magazine. You get lots of blurb and fluff. It's a bit like the partwork build of the Dodge Charger. You'll get information about the franchise of the movies. You'll get information about the cars and obviously the brands of cars, the history of automotion. Automotion is not a real word, Fox. Automotive history. And then you do get, depending on if you've subscribed or not, you do get some good free gifts. You get some posters, a mug, a t-shirt, and the off-road version of the Dodge Charger if you subscribe. If you want to subscribe, of course, I'll put the link in the description below the video, and it's probably been on screen already. But you can go to Fanhome and become a subscriber, and you'll get those wonderful gifts throughout the course of the partwork. And if you upgrade it to a premium package, you get this little diorama, which is very badly photoshopped. I have to point that out. The perspective is all over the shop. I know, but you get the idea. You get a roadway and you get the safe and you get the 2 police cars and those 2 gates. So yeah, if you do a premium package for only an extra £1 a month, you get 4 more cars. 2 Dodge Charger SRT8s, Dom and Brian's Dodge Charger SRT8s, the Rio de Janeiro police cars, the Vault, and a diorama base. Yes, I don't know what any of that means. I'm an idiot. So yeah, that's some blurb about the partwork. So I do recommend it if you're into Fast and Furious. These are really nice little cars. Another bit of blurb there about subscriptions. It's the same thing, talking about the premium thing. And then we have the magazines and the cars. We'll have a look at the cars in a minute. As you can see, they do come packed in these wonderful acrylic cases. I've taken the Dodge out. I'll put them to one side and we'll have a quick look through the magazines. I'm not going to dwell on them too much. And going forward, these will be really short videos because there's not a lot to show. But we'll go through the magazines quickly and then we'll have a look at the main item, the cars. Back in a minute. Okay, so let's go through the magazines. The first one, of course, is issue 1, and it's going to be focused on Dom's Dodge Charger RT, the 1970 Charger. I'm not going to sit there and gloss over every single page in these magazines, because if you don't want to read them thoroughly, you really need to get the partwork for yourself, or the collection for yourself. But we'll have a quick look through. So yes, it's sort of a legendary franchise, which it is. I mean, I say I've never watched it, but even I know how important the Fast and Furious franchise is. It's been going for like 1 million years. And as it says in this magazine, every time they make one of these films, they write off so many cars to make this. They're basically a love letter to the American car. And they're also like a big focus on family and things like that. So I will get around to watching them at some point, because I like ensemble cast stuff. I may not be into cars and stuff, but I do like ensemble cast, and I like Vin Diesel, so we'll have a look. But this says, when filming began on the first instalment of the Fast and Furious saga, no one could have imagined that it would become one of the most popular franchises in the history of cinema. Yes, it's a mass phenomenon that brings together millions of fans from around the world, not only due to the movies, the associated soundtracks, video games and toys also play a pivotal role in the saga's popularity. So obviously it's talking generally about the Charger here. And the sort of nature of the films. It focuses on the actual real car. Now, I have to say, I may not be into cars, but I do like me. If I had to point to a certain era of automotion, I've done it again, automotion. A certain era of car history, it's going to be the American 70s muscle car scene, because just, you can't, modern cars are so boring. Whereas like these, I mean, just look at that. Just sex. It just is. It's just Coke bottle curves and beautiful bright colours and chrome and, it's just, modern cars are just so dribbly by just boring and round and square and bland. And yeah, if I could have a muscle car of my choice, it would be a Charger or a Hemi Cuda, one of the two. I don't know yet. Maybe a Plymouth Super B. or a GTO Judge. I don't know yet. All four of them. I'd have all four of those. This is the 70 Dodge Charger RT. It's a 3-door coupe. Coupe, as our American cousins would say. It's got a 9.75-foot wheelbase. Engine is 7-litre V8 Street Hemi. Let's have a look. It's got gasoline driven, obviously. Maximum torque 664 Newton meters at 4,000 RPM. I assume that's Newton meters, NM. I don't know about cars. Tell me in the comments what NM. I assume it's Newton meters, because that's a measurement of force, isn't it? I'm guessing that. Weight 1,710 kilograms, which is about how much my 1/8 scale Dodge Charger weighs when I put it on the shelf. I'll lift this up so it's not in the glare of the lights. There you go, it's a bit better. Acceleration 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. A car from 1970, 4.8 seconds. Oh yeah, although it would use as much fuel as my entire fuel tank in my Ford Fiesta would do to get that far. And there you go, there's some of the numbers and words there. So yeah, that's the Dodge Charger, one of my personal favourites. And I wouldn't have done the original Dodge Partwork because I've never watched the films, apart from the fact it was the Dodge Charger, and that's what really made me convince myself to do the Dodge Charger Partwork, because I do love the Dodge Charger so much. So you've got history of Dodge, and then we've got a little bit of history about the actual Dodge brand, the Dodge brothers that created it, in the back. And I think going forward we're going to get history in the back like that, like we did in the big 1/8 scale car Partwork. So that's issue 1, the Dodge Charger. Next up, we have issue 2, which is the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 from 1999 to 2002. It says street races, a way of life. When the streets of the city become impromptu racetracks on which to test the performance of the engines and to demonstrate who is the fastest behind the wheel, excitement levels shoot up. Yes, they do, if you're into that kind of thing. So it talks about street racing in the context of the movies. Obviously, it's going to focus on the Skyline GTR here, the legendary Skyline. Again, modern car, so it doesn't necessarily float my boat, but I do understand its legendary status even. Technical sheet, let's have a look. Lots of technical facts. Type 2-door coupe, wheelbase 8.74 feet, engine 2.6 litre L6 RB26 DET bi-turbo. I nearly said biturbo then, bi-turbo. My brain just kind of saw the word bi-turbo and fell over. It's 280 horsepower, declared at 6,800 RPM. Maximum torque 392 at 4,400 RPM. It's like playing top trumps, isn't it? Performance, half quarter mile in 12.2 seconds. Did it say 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, declared. So similar to the Dodge. And then, of course, it's talking about the history of the Nissan Motor Company there. I love that. Look at that. It's just like, you can just hear that making like cartoon chug-a-boom noises. I don't know why. And then something that looks like it could come straight out of a Tintin book. And then this little adorable thing here, I love that. That's just so Japanese. That's just so adorable. It's the 1937 Datsun Model 16 in its coupe version. It was only produced for a year, from April 1937 to April 1938, before being replaced by the Datsun Model 17. Bless it, bless it. Yeah, and I thought that was a taxi then, but it's not. It's a Datsun 210. So there you go. So that is issue 2. So let's move on to issue 3. Now, I don't know going forward how I'm going to lay out these videos. I've done it here going through each magazine one by one, then we'll look at the cars. But going forward, I might do like magazine and car, and then a title, and then magazine and car. So I don't know yet how I'm going to do that. But yes, this is issue 3. We're looking at the Toyota Supra Mark IV. Nitrous oxide, a blast of speed. When the cars are racing neck and neck at full throttle, the option exists of pushing the magic button and activating the nitrous oxide. Seemingly rocket-powered, the vehicle accelerates in a matter of seconds. It is an experience only suitable for cool-headed, experienced drivers. Not me, then. I've never driven a car that goes more than 0 to 60 in about a week. Yeah, so lots of information on NOS there. Then we have a focus on the Toyota Supra itself, the 94 Toyota Supra. Again, I said about like 1990s, 80s and 90s cars and modern cars. Some cars like this, they do have a hint to the Coke bottle curve era of cars, and that is a very nice looking car. It's not quite 1970s muscle car curvy, but, you know, as modern cars go, that's a very nice looking car. So they do kind of they kind of resurrect that design language every now and then, and I do like it when that happens. So there we go, we've got the 94 Toyota Supra. Let's have a look. We've got wheelbase of 8.36 feet, we've got a 3-litre L6 twin cam 24 2LZ GE engine, 220 horsepower at 5,800 RPM. We've got maximum torque of 285 Nms at 4,800 RPM. We have a top speed of 155, a quarter mile in 12.2 seconds performance. No 0 to 60 on this one though. That's a bit of a disappointing. I can't do top trumps if I don't know that. And there you go. So that is the Toyota Supra, 94 Toyota Supra. Yes, and then of course we've got a little bit of history on Toyota themselves, and what I can only describe as a very Japanese looking Japanese car. There's something about vintage Japanese cars that just look Japanese. I don't know what it is. It's just that bit. Could be anything. Could be European, could be American, but that bit, you just think, oh, it's a Japanese car. Brilliant. I don't know what it is. That's the 1936 Toyota Model AA sedan, the Japanese brand's first mass-produced car. So there you go, a bit of history. So that is all 3 issues. I'll put these to one side and we'll get on with the actual looking at the cars. Now I have to warn you, my spinny thing, the battery ran out. So if I do any spinny thing shots, it'll be me doing a bit of that. It's not very professional, but it's too late at night to go and get a load of C batteries. So, fail. It's very noisy. Okay, so let's get up close and personal. We'll start, of course, with the best of these 3 cars, which is the Dodge Charger. These are beautifully made 1/43 replicas. They're just chock full of detail. There's lots of lovely little bits on there. They've got all the license plates, the relevant license plates. It's fantastically moulded. These aren't toy cars. I mean, you could play with them if you wanted to. I don't know why you would. They're very, very nice. But they're beautifully detailed, die-cast 1/43 vehicles. So much detail in there. Very nicely done. There's a full interior. Although amusingly, there's a passenger seat in this, but when I made the 1/8 one, there wasn't a passenger seat. I don't know if there is a passenger seat in Dom's Charger. Or maybe later in a different movie it takes it out. I don't know. I'll have to watch the movie, I suppose, won't I? Oh. So yeah, so we've got Dom's Charger there. Can't really see the inside because it's a bit dark. But there is a fully detailed dash. I don't know if it'll come out, but you can see just about there. It's not in focus, but there's a fully detailed dash in there. So it's a beautiful little car. It's got this fantastic little antenna there. And it's really nice. I'll put that there. Then, of course, we have the Supra, which, again, has a very nice bit of detail underneath. And it's got beautiful markings, accurate to the movie, all over it. Absolutely fantastic paint job on it. There we go. Look at that. Now they come out of the box a few fingerprints on the clear plastic there, but that's nothing. You could always easily clean these up if you wanted to. Give them a quick rub over. If you wanted to, you could put a layer of wax on them like I did with a big Dodge Charger, but that'd be a bit silly for a small car. But yeah, they are beautifully done. So much detail on there, and again the relevant license plate. And this one has a fantastic interior. You can see the black and blue detailing. So nice as I knock the camera. Roll bar there, and you've got the NOS tanks and everything else in the back. That's going to get a lot of boost, that is. So that one is absolutely fantastic. So nicely done. And then last of all, of course, we have the Skyline, which also is looking absolutely fantastic. You got all the interior there. You got all the tanks on the floor. Going to give it a hell of a boost. All the detail, the interior barrel bar, beautiful interior detail. Full dashboard. Again, you can't really get it in focus to see. What a fantastic paint job. Now, I can't quite tell if these the blue chevrons here are painted like a screen print or a decal. I'm erring on the side of decal. I don't know if it comes out to you on camera, but there's a moire effect on my screen here on these blue bits, like a sort of weird patterning. And I think if you look at them close up, they do have a slight texture to them, like a printed texture. So these may actually be water slides. I can't quite tell. I think they are, but I'm not sure. But if they are, they've put them really nicely onto the the complex curved bodywork. Look at where it goes in the door shape there. I'd fight with that decal to get it fit that flush. So if they are decals, they're very nicely done. So yeah, there you go. That is beautiful. I'm not going to put them on the Lazy Susan because it's noisy and rubbish. We'll just look at them like that. So that is the Skyline. So there you have the first three beautiful cars in this collection. Now, do keep in mind, of course, all the cars that come in this collection, they're not available separately. You can't just go out and buy the car. They're only available in this partwork. So if you want to build up this collection, you need to subscribe to the partwork, and you can get all of them. I don't know how many cars exactly there are in the partwork. There were 10 in that booklet. I'm going to guess, I mean, I don't know how many. I know roughly how long partworks last. I don't know, it could be 40, 50 cars. I don't know, it could be 60 or 100. Who knows? I don't even know how many you're going to get regularly each month. I'm not 100% sure. This month we got one pack with the first one, and then we got the second pack with these two. So going forward, we might get 2 a month or 3 a month. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But yeah, so there we go. Those are the first 3 cars in the Fast and Furious 143rd car collection. And I'm looking forward. Oh, don't forget, of course, they do come in the little acrylic cases with the beautiful little bases. I've just taken them out for now so you can see them. So when you get these, the screws are rattling around. When you get these, you can either take them out of their cases and put them in sort of a display box or display case, or you can leave them in and stack them on shelves, however you want to do it. I'll be leaving them in the cases so I can keep them stored away until I can find somewhere to put them. But yeah, so there we go. 143rd car collection. A little part of my brain is saying these are kind of scale extric size. I'm sure I've seen someone somewhere on a forum talking about making these into slot cars. You probably could. There'd be a way to do it, actually. If you know what you're doing, you could build the little contacts in there, and you probably could make these into some sort of slot cars. I don't know if they're the right size, though. It's just a memory in my brain that somebody mentioned it, and I'm thinking, are they the right size? Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to put these 2 back in the cases. This Dodge I shall leave out because Dodge, of course, is my favourite car in the whole world, the Charger. So I shall be leaving this out. It'll be my desk buddy, perhaps. But that's going to do us for this video. Only a quick one. Probably about half an hour long knowing that. But I will come back to you when we have the next pack of these beautiful little cars. I do need to thank Fanhome massively for this. As with all my other partworks, I do need to declare that Fanhome are providing this to me free of charge. I'm not buying these. I don't know which subscription gifts I'll get, if any, so I'll just get what I'm given. But yes, I am being provided this free of charge at no expense to me. So all opinions are my own. They have no say in the creative process. But a big, massive thank you to the guys at Fanhome to helping me get this this partwork on the bench. Anyway, yes, take care of yourselves. That's my alarm telling me it's dinner time. Take care of yourselves. Ooh, dinner. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go collect something awesome. Big thanks to Fanhome. And until the next time, I shall say, adios, amoebas.